Welcome back to SGK English for a new video. Today, let us discuss article writing. What is meant by an article? An article is a piece of information intended to be published in newspapers, magazines, journals, or blogs. It may be an idea of interest for the writer, or it may be related to some current issues. So let us discuss what is the format of article writing first. What should be the format? See, an article should have heading number 1, byline number 2, and content. See, heading, the topic is given as heading on top. Next one, byline means by whom it is written. Suppose the name is given, you can mention, otherwise you write XXX or XYZ. Okay, then comes content. Content has got 3 parts. Number 1, introduction. 2, body. 3, conclusion. So introduction should be the theme. What is the theme of the topic? The subject matter. In 2-3 lines enough. Don't write too much too. You see, an article should be concise, clear, and coherent. See, clear, okay, clarity of expression. Concise means limited, okay, 150 to 200 words. Coherent means what? Logical arrangement of, ideas. Not simply telling without a head or tail. Okay, now it should be coherent. So, logically arranged. That is what. Okay, so that is the introduction. Now comes body. Okay, so in this you explain the topic in detail. Again you explain the topic in detail. Okay, there are 3 techniques for writing the body of an article. Number 1, advantage versus disadvantage. For example, online shopping. Some advantages are there, disadvantages also are there. So in this way you can discuss advantage versus disadvantage. And number 2, cause and effect. For example, pollution. See, what are the causes of pollution? What are the effects of it? There is a second method, there is cause and effect. For example, pollution. You can explain in detail. See the causes and effects. And third one, problem and solution. You see, Farm Bill 2020. Problem and solution method. For example, Farm Bill 2020. So, a problem is introduced, solution is suggested. That is problem and solution method. Say, for example, Farm Bill 2020. So, it was introduced with a good intention, but there are some drawbacks to it. Farmers are agitating in Delhi, for example, for the last 6 months. Many things are there. If you want to know something more about that, there are many videos in SGK English about Farm Bill. Just type of Farm Bill, SGK English, you will get some of them. To know more about Farm Bill. Okay. So there are 3 methods of introducing, the body. Number 1 is, advantage versus disadvantage. So first we will discuss what all are the advantages. Then disadvantages. In a way, comparison. Okay. And coming to conclusion. Then cause and effect. So some problems, the causes are explained, effects also are explained. Then problem and solution. Some problem is introduced, solution also suggested. Okay, that is a body. Then comes a conclusion. Means overall view. Summarizing that and coming to a conclusion. So there are 3 parts: introduction, body, and conclusion. This is the format of writing an article. Now let us take an example and see how to write an article. Okay. Now let us take an example. The pros and cons of online classes. You know it. You are experiencing too. Okay. The pros and cons. Okay. Advantage and disadvantage. Okay now. Merits and demerits. Good effects and not so good effects. Okay now. Let us discuss this topic. So as we have already seen, there should be an introduction, then a body, and last part conclusion. So let us see how to begin, how to expand, how to conclude. The topic once again, the pros and cons of online classes. By the name is not given, you can write XXX or XYZ. Okay, so let us begin. Here, the beginning. To complete in one page, I have spread out, so take care and see. The widespread outbreak of coronavirus. You know, corona pandemic, we are all suffering. The entire world is suffering. The widespread outbreak of coronavirus has led to moving towards online classes by schools and colleges. That is introduction. How can we say? The widespread outbreak of, see, pros and cons of online classes. The widespread outbreak of coronavirus has led to moving towards online classes by schools and colleges. Although these classes are able to mitigate, means reduce, bring down the loss of studies to some extent. Actually, they are able to mitigate the loss of studies to some extent, but not completely. They have imposed some major concerns as well. So it has brought, some major concerns as well. That is the introduction. Only 2 sentences. So we have already seen how to write the introduction. The topic matter is explained or discussed in a nutshell. What is the theme? What is the topic? Subject matter is explained. See, once again, the widespread outbreak of coronavirus has led to moving towards online classes by schools and colleges. Although these classes are able to mitigate or reduce the loss of studies to some extent, you see, they have imposed some major concerns as well. It has imposed some major concerns too. Now, you see, explaining, the body, the method, 3 methods are there, we have already seen. Advantage versus disadvantage. So what all are the advantages, what all are the disadvantages? See, online classes are available to a student sitting anywhere in the world. That is a plus point. So you can attend the class from anywhere in the world, at home mainly. It has eliminated the time and cost required to reach a school or college. So you need not go travel, you see. Time is saved, you have to spend a lot of time traveling. And prevented the loss of studies. Yes. So you can study at home. You see, time schedule will be there, you follow that. Even though lockdown was imposed, that's the main thing. Even though lockdown was imposed, you can attend the classes without losing your time, energy and money too. So with no expenditure, you can sit at home. Of course, internet you have to purchase. That is only little expenditure in comparison with your time and money spent on reaching the school and returning too. So once again, see, online classes are available to a student sitting anywhere in the world. Very simple. It's available to a student who is sitting anywhere in the world. It has eliminated, means removed, the time and cost required to reach a school or college and prevented the loss of studies. So otherwise you would not have studied anything at all. No? When there is lockdown, you cannot come out from your house. How can you study? This is the only way, only method. Even though lockdown was imposed, But there are some major concerns as well. So plus point I have explained here. Negative points all I did not write down, and I made some hints. Number one, internet connectivity. So uninterrupted power supply is required, number one. Then net, you see, we may not be getting enough speed to attend the online classes when we are sitting in village or at home. Okay, now our country is not that much developed, just like America or something. So that's a big problem. Then, lack of one-to-one teaching. So you are passive listening to what the teacher says. Direct, conversation. Direct teaching is not possible. So teacher cannot know what you are doing, and you are not able to, show your response or express your response to the lessons taught in the online class. And overuse of electronic device might cause some health issues. So sitting hours continuously using this electronic device and all may cause some health problems too. These are the three main drawbacks of online classes. So explain in 3 sentences. Okay, now the hints given there. So internet connectivity may not be available. A class is stipulated for 10 to 10:40, for example. At that time the net is not connected, you cannot attend the class. And moreover, if power supply is not there or any problem comes to that connection, you won't be able to attend the class. Number one. Number two, direct one-to-one teaching is not possible. Okay, you are simply passive listeners and you cannot show your response, or you cannot ask your doubts to the teacher. Okay, you are simply passive, so it may make you lazy and make you not to listen to the class with attention, etc. and etc. And third one, electronic device when you use for a long time, continuous hours, it will create some health problems too. You can mention these three negative points of online classes. Now comes the conclusion. At present, students and teachers have adopted, in spite of all the demerits, disadvantages, we have adopted this method, this model of education, and are trying to get used to it. With each passing day, we have to adjust to that. That is only possible. We cannot find any other solution as lockdown is still continuing. Okay, there are some merits, demerits, etc., etc. But we have adopted to, accustomed to, getting familiarized with this method of online classes. You see, to this model of education and trying to get used to it. We are trying to get accustomed to, familiarized with, used to it. Okay, with each passing day. One more sentence. If we can try to resolve the problems related to this, it will be a great revolution in the coming years. So if we can rectify the problems mentioned here, some problems are there, so we have to find solutions and rectify it. If we can rectify these problems, it is going to be a great revolution in the field of education in coming years. In spite of the fact that though lockdown will be withdrawn, there is chance of these online classes. We not depend fully on offline class. In future also, to some extent, we can depend on online classes. So for example, half day we attend the offline class, then we go home and there will be online classes. So it can be made a permanent method of teaching. We do not depend on offline class always. It has some plus points, some advantages. So it is going to be a great revolution in the field of in education. Okay now. So study all these 3 paragraphs. Especially make sentence of your own here explaining the disadvantages. This is the way you have to write an article. Article writing. The pros and cons of online classes. First introduction, then body, then comes conclusion. Ending with a positive note. Though there are some demerits, it is going to be a great revolution. So because we are getting accustomed to it, we are getting used to it. So if we can solve the problems, it is going to be a great revolution. Yes, I hope it is clear to you. In this way, you have to write an article. This is what article writing is. Thank you for watching. Meet you with another video. Goodbye.